Okay, guys, welcome to our show today. Today is our Liverpool Arsenal um, podcast, and my name is EJ. I'm back. This is my second time in 3 weeks back hosting. I'm happy they're giving me hosting gigs now. But yes, um, um, with us we have DJ Kabiesi Bola. Welcome back, Liverpool fan.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
And we have Ray. Ray is an Arsenal fan. Welcome to the show again.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Awesome. And before we start, if you do not follow us on any of our social media platforms, follow us now, particularly on YouTube at Footy Fantasy. We are trying to get more subscribers. It costs you nothing. Join us. Let's go. We're going to jump right into it. Arsenal versus Liverpool review. We just got done watching the match. Well, that's near tears, but it's okay. So
I've wiped them away already. We'll
start with you, Boladu. Let's hear from you. What were your thoughts about the game going into the game, and now that the game is over? What did you think?
Going into the game, I was just trying not to jinx us. Not saying anything negative about Arsenal or anything like that, but I knew it was going to be a tough game. I remember people tried to pepper me the last time we played each other. And I said, look, the Arsenal midfield is solid. You guys controlled the midfield in that first game, and you did so in the first half of this game as well. And so I knew it was going to be a very difficult game. And it was. You guys came and you weren't playing around. We were sloppy. This is probably one of the most sloppiest performances I've seen from my team, especially in a long time. And part of that was because of what you made us do. I'm not a hater. I'm not like some of these other people. I'm not a Man U fan. I'm a real football person, and I give credit where credit is due. You guys bust us around, especially in that first half. But all I was praying for is, Father God, please give us one, just one before the half. And we got it. I don't know where it came from, but we finally got it. And the second half, we played a lot better, but then mistakes. Arsenal found their rhythm again, and two unavoidable goals. But while I do say that, those goals came from the pressure that Arsenal created. You guys are a really great team, so we lost. This is, in my eyes, this is our first legitimate loss of the year. The Tottenham game, I don't count that. This is our first loss of the year, and so we need to go back and reassess and reevaluate and see where we can improve. I'm sure with Trent still is not quite there. He's not 100%. This was his first real start. And to be honest, he probably wouldn't have been starting if Conor Bradley's dad didn't die 2 days ago. So, yeah, Conor Bradley's dad passed away 2 days ago. So that's the reason why Trent is starting today. Robertson came on. He was okay. But he's also getting back from injury. But again, that's not to make any excuses. We put God knows how many past Chelsea earlier this week. We have no excuses. And so Arsenal just came with a better game plan. You can see the hunger and the urgency behind how you're playing, and you executed and you won. And so we need to, go back in our little corner and cry and pray that Brentford does us a favor and keep City at bay, because right now the only winner that I see from today's match is Manchester City.
Great. I'm going to take this comment before we hear from you, Ray, because I think this ties into what we saw today. This hater, actually, I'm not sure who this person is. So if you can tell us who you are, that's fine. It just sounds like a hater. Low IQ defendant abounded from everyone. Aha. Sounds like a United fan.
I was going to say, it's probably a United fan.
Yeah.
Probably. They're not even in the conversation.
They suffer from horrible defending. This is one time they've seen something. It's like,
This is the big boy, big girl table. They're not even involved. They can play around wherever they are. I can't even see them. I can't see them. So, yeah.
But Ray, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's a good breakdown. Yeah, I think the game, same thing. Going into the game, I knew obviously it's always Liverpool, and I knew it was going to be a very entertaining game. I knew there was going to be goals in it, And I think it was in a way it was kind of similar to the FA Cup game we played against Liverpool, except this time around we were probably a bit more fortunate, or whatever term you want to use, not lucky, but in terms of we actually put the ball in the back of the net this time, because I think so it was kind of those parallels which kind of made me a little worried, because if I remember that game as well, it was 0-0, and this time around the first half was 1-1. I'm like, okay, I knew Klopp was going to make the changes in halftime, which he did, and but fortunately we were able to just get across there. I would say the one thing about the game, there was a master stroke from Arteta, which was, again, he did it against him in FA Cup, was Jorginho, and Jorginho, he was able to get those passes between the lines under pressure, and obviously knowing that having Rice next to him, and that made a key difference. And I think that's part of why, you have noticed he plays that against teams like Liverpool, Newcastle, and we're kind of a bit more like the Arsenal from last season, as opposed to what we did before, where we kind of get the ball, then try to protect it, and then by the time you do that, the chance is gone. So I think that's why you got a bit more exciting football from Arsenal to counter Liverpool, because Liverpool's a dangerous team, so you can't just sit back. They'll hate you on that. So I think that was one master stroke. Again, it was the FA Cup, kind of similar thing, but this time around, and then having Kai Havertz, I think, on up front as well. That's been one of the best games I've seen from Kai in terms of knowing his role. Obviously, he did put away some chances. If we had a proper center forward, I think we would have had 2-3 goals in that first half. Again, not even a disrespect to Liverpool, we just were that dominant, but we just didn't have that physical presence, or we kind of fluffed it. Even the goal that Saka scored, my wife saw me screaming like, how didn't Kai get that in? But fortunately Saka was able to get it in. So you can tell, if we had a proper center forward, that person would have had at least 2 assists or a goal in that half. But second half, again, Liverpool grew into it, but we were still consistent and were always a threat on the counter, with Martinelli especially. So I think it was obviously the dodgy moments with the defending, but sometimes I think those mistakes happen when you're sort of high pressure game. As you can see, we made the mistakes, and then Liverpool countered with a mistake as well. So it kind of netted out. I think Arsenal were deserved winners of that game.
Okay, awesome. Ola, welcome. I forgot you were joining us today, but I know Ola will never back down.
Back up. Oh, no. No, not that I won't back down. Arsenal were the better team, they won. So there's no more.
Let me hear your thoughts, because you usually give us good perspective. So go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Arsenal were the better team. They played much better. Even I think compared to the FA Cup game, Arsenal played a more matured game this time around. They didn't go all guns blazing, so you were not susceptible to living the counter attacks, which Liverpool are usually good at transitions. And the errors help. Obviously Van Dijk, he had a stinker. Even before the goal, now this is not revisionism. This is not something that happened after the fact. Before the goal, I was angry with him, because he was slowing down our tempo. He would take the ball, he would look, he would turn back, pass the ball back. He was just slowing our tempo all game. Before he even made the error, I was angry with him, because this season he has had a good season. But it seemed today he reverted to I'm too cool for school Van Dijk. That was what he was doing today. I'm too cool for school. And it was annoying me, even before he made the error. And immediately the ball bounced for that second goal. You could just see where it was going. You don't let that kind of ball bounce. I'm afraid I'm going hard on him, because he's like our most experienced player. He's our captain. That was a high-pressure game. Fair enough. He took full responsibility in the post-match interview. He took full responsibility, but that should not take anything away from Arsenal. We can't reduce that victory to only the errors. Arsenal played well to deserve the win. Absolutely. Even the third goal, Trossard was running and Van Dijk is jogging. He was doing that too cool for school thing. He was just jogging. And by the time he decided to close Trossard down, he deflected the ball into the net. Like, what are you doing? Just go and close him down. Why are you jogging? Arsenal played better. And for Arsenal fans, this is a big win. I don't begrudge you guys the celebration. I'm just a bit surprised about we took 4 points from Liverpool. Come on. It's not like you did a double over us. We still beat you in the FA Cup a few weeks ago. So I don't understand I don't understand the overemphasis on we took 4 points from Liverpool. The last 5 times we went to the Emirates, we won 4. We won 4 of the last 5 at the Emirates.
Yeah. So
enjoy your win.
For me.
All that. All that. I was what? Oh, sorry, EJ.
Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
I was going to say. I was watching the game here in Oakland, and I was with my boy Kola, and he's an Arsenal fan, and he said something that I didn't even realize myself. But he was like, "This is the first time I've watched the game with you in 10 years, and we've beaten you." So, to be fair, I didn't even realize that. I was like, "Wait, really?" And he was right. He's right. The whole Mane era, all of that. Like we always like
that's the big point. So, that's what I'm going to point out.
Give him some grace.
Ola, to your comment, saying that we took 4 points from you this season and 4 points last season, when in previous seasons it's been massacre. Klopp has been here for 9 years. These 2 years are the first time that we are beating you at the Emirates in the league. Let's take away the FA Cup because we've actually beaten you guys at the FA Cup. I think we beat you guys. Did we not?
Yep. In the COVID year, we did. Yeah.
Charity Shield. Shield.
FA Cup too.
FA Cup too.
Hey.
But Charity Shield's the one we remember.
Yeah.
Chelsea in the FA Cup. Now we beat Liverpool that year.
Yep.
In the league, we beat them.
Charity.
I believe
it was in the COVID.
I think it was.
Oh, the COVID. Oh yeah, in the COVID year. Yeah. Liverpool had won the league by that stage. I think Liverpool had won the league.
It was some kind of weird victory where we only had 2 shots on target. Like it would never happen.
Nelson.
Aubameyang.
And y'all had 24 shots. Yes.
Yep.
So I want to take that away. Every other time, even when Klopp first came, I used to remember because Klopp would come and play us at home. He would get a draw. We'll go there. They'll beat us. It was always y'all were always the ones getting 4 points. So this year it's a new thing, and I've been praying for this shift for the last 4 years. I was like, this Liverpool man, they're old. Like how did not age? Becker is 31. I believe he's 92. Van Dijk is 91, so he's 32. I was like, these people are getting to the age where they should be falling off the cliff. Thank God Salah was not there. But like what I mean is we're just expecting. And Mane is not there. These people that terrorized us, we're expecting it to turn. It started turning last year, and it's staying turned. That's why I'm saying it's a big deal that we took those 4 points. We're keeping our momentum in that area level.
Yep.
So,
I think it matters more when you take 6 points. I mean, that's the real marker because Liverpool, we've done that. Yeah, I mean 4 points.
at Anfield.
I don't think it's an either or though. I don't think it's an
like
either
who can
or.
beat you guys at Anfield? We take a drop from you and hold
Exactly.
I think that's amazing.
If I win the league and I took 4 off Liverpool, do I care if it's 6 points? Don't care. Because even back in the day, years ago, when Liverpool wasn't so strong, Liverpool was always good at home, so I couldn't care less whether I only got 4 points if it gets me across the league. I'm not here for like wins, bragging rights. It's just about like right now, Liverpool's top of the league, taking points off them, whatever we can do. If it gets me up there, I could care if it's 6 or 4. That to me, that's where I'm standing. I think that's where most Arsenal fans are. Yeah.
The reason why I said 6, if you had 6, you'll be top of the league now. That's what I mean. You had the chance to put us to the sword at Anfield earlier this season. So, I mean, that's where you lay your marker. When you win at Anfield, you know you're ready to win the league. So that's why I'm not saying you should not celebrate your 4 points. I'm just saying 4 points is not 6 points. We've done the double over Arsenal a few times. And when we do a double over Arsenal, it's either we go very close to win the league or we actually win the league or win something.
League and beating you guys at Anfield.
Exactly. That's like it's irrelevant. As long as if I get to the end of the line in May and it was only 4 points, I could care less, is what I'm saying. Obviously, the shoulda, coulda in the back, it is fine. But I think because Liverpool is one of the top teams now, you have to celebrate where you come from. We were being beat by Liverpool. Now we got to a point where like we can beat them at home and tie away, yes. And then that's the next iteration. So that's fine. Yeah, exactly.
EJ, I want to remind you something, EJ. Sorry, just finally, you said your season started collapsing at Anfield last season. So that's what I mean, that you had the chance to get the 6 points because that would have set you guys on the way to the league title. So that's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying that would be the bigger achievement, coming to Anfield to win, because That's a marker. If you win at Anfield, that emboldens the team. That 4 points you took last season didn't win you the league. And especially losing the 2-goal lead at Anfield, I think just let Arsenal just suck the wind out of Arsenal's sail. But I mean, congratulations, actually. You guys did very well today. And I believe you are the better team. And let me just say, last week I said it. I said people are writing off Arsenal too early. I hosted the podcast last week. And I said 5-point lead is nothing. That we are going to the Emirates and Arsenal have a chance to cut that lead. I was saying it last week. So it's not like I was even going there confident that we'll win. Because people just think Arsenal are done. Arsenal are not done. Come on. There's 5 points to come 2 points now. Look at that.
Let me add to that. Let me put my jerk hat back on. You know, all it's showing me is that Arsenal's not ready to win right now. They should be, but the mentality needs to be a little bit different because when I look at it, the real winners from today is Manchester City.
Yeah.
Liverpool, they're the real winners today, Manchester City. I get it.
How are they the real winners?
The real winners is it's now in their ball. It's now in their
okay. Right.
It's now their destiny to lose, right? So I get it that Arsenal's excited that they were, you got 4 points from Anfield. But if you're really locked in as they should be, it'll be like, okay, we've done what we need to do. Next, let's focus on the next one. And it's just a mentality thing.
Let's not get this wrong.
But that's Don't
mix it up.
Good.
That we are not focused on the next game.
Yeah.
And we are celebrating that because I feel like I'm the one who said this in the group. So that's why I feel like I don't know if anyone else is celebrating 4 points against Liverpool.
No, a lot of you.
You're great. You're great.
I think it's fair, but I don't think players are sitting down thinking, "Oh, we have done it. We have won the league now." No.
I'm talking about the fans. The fans.
Yeah, but the fans don't affect the game. I'm so sorry. We can say what we want. Yeah, the fans don't affect what the players do on the pitch. Not by talking. Like at the end of the day, the players have to go and play. So I'm going to say this though. I get just my own quick assessment before we move on. I did think that we had a chance just based off the recent history at home. I don't like what happened at FA Cup at home. So I was wary, whatever the word is. And I was like hedging my bet. So we started out really well, started out very brightly. The early goal helped. We scored in 15 minutes. Again, Havertz, not my favorite player. I describe him as someone who he feels like he doesn't know where his legs are. I feel like he's not the one controlling his legs. That's how like as if he has someone else, a marionette controlling his legs. Like, bro, just focus. But no, I think him being up front was a good enough distraction. He holds the ball pretty well, holds up well, and he's a good target as far as like people are going to be drawn to him. Even though I feel like we should leave him alone. He hurt himself. But anyway, the fact that he was able to get that pass, at least get the shot out to Alisson that he had to carry away to the path of Bukayo, that worked for me. Second goal again, that was y'all's error. But again, we had our own error right before. That someone was saying that low IQ defending. I wasn't impressed, but let's chill. Again, these are players, and these are players that we say are quote-unquote world-class players. I feel like you take the good with the bad with them, and the bad times are very few. So let's relax. And,
what? No, you go.
So I think Arsenal overall, we were more determined. And that's what we need to do. We're going to be serious about even continuing to contend. The ball is not in our courts. We need favors. But we do play City again. That one, I'm charging that one because I don't believe we'll win that one. I'm so sorry. We already did what we have never done to City, and I accept it. We beat them at home. That's one step at a time. Two. Y'all play City too. That's going to help us out either way. Manchester United, someone like what's going to happen this season? The season still have like 17 games left, or maybe
15.
So there's a long season. Now, regarding something Ola said about how we collapsed after Liverpool's game last year, you notice we collapsed Liverpool's game.
You said what?
I was going to say, can you there's some background noise from somewhere.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether it's Ebola.
It may be Ebola, actually. Okay. I think you can all hear me now. Yeah. So there is.
Yeah.
We collapsed again after the Anfield match this season because after we played you guys, we only won Brighton. Every other game was either a loss or a draw. So we've got over that hump. I believe Arsenal is now chill, calm. We need people to come back. We just need to focus and do what we need to do the rest of this season. Hopefully we've had our slump, is my point. We've had our slump. We're still circling around 4 points of the top. Because I think City will win their 2 games in hand. That will put us 4 points behind them. So, or 3 points maybe. But yeah, so good game for us. Good game. If no one has anything else, I'm going to move on because.
Why did you take off Martinelli?
What do I think of Martinelli?
No, why did you take off Martinelli?
I don't know. I think Arteta didn't know what to do, honestly. Because even me, I was watching the game. I was like, who comes on? I knew Trossard should come on, but I was like, you're not going to take off Havertz for Trossard because they had Jorginho. Once you had Jorginho on, you have Jorginho, Rice, and Partey. Those 3 were doing a good job. You couldn't have brought anyone else in an 8th position beside Odegaard. It would have had to be either Havertz or Martinelli coming off. And I'm fine with Martinelli coming off. He scored a goal. I think he was terrorizing what TAA.
Trent, he had us on skates the whole game. That's why I was a little surprised when he went off.
So when TAA went off, I think it was fine for him to go off too. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I think, I was a bit surprised, but I think what probably was trying to do is because sometimes, as the game was nearing towards the end, Martinelli could start to get a little head down and probably lose the ball a bit more. And then Liverpool could easily switch it vertically across. They're not going to try to, because Liverpool is just trying to bypass the midfield once they figured out, okay, these guys are getting tired. So he was worried. Again, I think the reason is he was worried Martinelli, because he's kind of a high risk, high reward kind of player. So if he tries to put his head down, maybe it might not work. And next, they switch it over. And so whereas someone like Trossard has a little bit more ball control, not so much speed, obviously, but ball control, he can kind of keep the ball. So I think he was trying to really protect the 2-1, to be honest. So that's why it was actually, that goal was a bonus. That little flick from Trossard there and the pace, we were all like, oh, he can actually run. And then he also got the space. And then it went between Alisson's legs. So I think it was really more to protect the ball, if anything, was why he brought him. Because, he tends to sub Martinelli after a while, too. Yeah.
Okay, some of these comments are, I don't know, this guy, tell us who you are. He was talking. This is when Ola was talking. He said, "Oh gosh, rest, history bloke." Why is he calling you a history bloke? Oga,
I don't know.
Has to be a United fan. Has to be a United fan.
Definitely United fan. All right, we'll move on. Great discussion.
Swiftly moving on.
All right, so let's move on to thoughts on the impact of the lack of January transfers on the title and top 4 race. Now, this topic is interesting because I didn't really think about it that much, but I don't think many of the big teams signed anyone. Did any of the big teams sign anyone?
Only Spurs. Yeah. Tottenham. They bought one player and loaned Werner. I think they loaned Timo Werner in, and they bought somebody else.
You said big teams, right? Why are we mentioning Tottenham? I'm confused.
Tottenham, they're level on points, right? Who are they level on points with? No, they're not level on points. There. Actually, I don't remember. Okay, yeah. So what did we think? Do we think everyone's going to run out of gas this season because they didn't bring anyone new? You think everyone's good?
I know from my perspective as a Liverpool fan, I didn't know what we actually needed. I'm not saying that from an arrogant perspective. I know our situation. I know our budget. I know our owners aren't going to spend that much money. I didn't know what our real critical weakness is. And we have, in my opinion, we still have some money in the bank when it comes to FFP. Other clubs, you guys spend a lot of money. I think everyone's just trying to protect themselves, make sure that they don't run into the same problems that Everton and Manchester City have run themselves into. So I'm not surprised. I think they said the Premier League spent more than all the other leagues combined in transfers in the summer. So, if you're not good now, you're not going to get any better. So.
Right. For us, we know we needed a striker, but Arteta told us, he already warned us, he's like, there's no one on the market. So we all kind of adjusted our expectations. and I wasn't expecting anyone coming in. And that, like, to Bola's comment, it would have meant someone leaving, and
Yeah.
I would have had to be Nketiah, and Arteta loves Nketiah to death. He's not going anywhere.
I can go if you want on the
Yeah.
yeah. I would say so generally the question was what's the impact of the transfer window. I think the fact that not a lot of people went to the market, I think that actually benefits City, because they're the ones in a sense that if there was a team that needed something to get them across to be able to compete, like in my opinion, if Arsenal got it is almost near impossible. Like let's say, but hypothetically speaking, if we got a proper center forward, then I can be a bit more confident that okay, when push comes to shove, we can get someone to fire us to maintain that against City. But now we don't have that. We're kind of just back to where we were. And so most teams are generally like that. So yeah, I think in a way it benefits City because they just know how to get around this spending. So generally I think that benefits City. So it's almost like just neutral situation, and all their players are back now. But in terms of Arsenal, again, exactly what you said is the FFP thing. I think they're just trying to see what happens in the summer without goals. That's why they didn't get players. Honestly, in a way, it's kind of good because then we just continue what we've been seeing, not
No
some
surprise.
random no surprises for the most part. So at first I was kind of worried, but I think I'm okay with it now. Like, okay, no surprises. Let's see what everyone's got. Plays, give chances to young players. That's one thing I'll give Liverpool credit for. I generally do appreciate Liverpool as a team, as those who know me as well. But even more so this season, like they give chance for some of the younger players, and then they've showed themselves. They might not make it in the end, but you can sell them off to do things. So that's one thing I think this forces a lot of teams to also do a different level. So it's actually, I think, generally would be overall good for the league. Obviously, now in terms of competing against City, it's a different conversation. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the transfer there.
What about you?
Yeah, I think this transfer window is a win for FFP or PSR, profitability and sustainability rules. I think it's a win because I saw one journalist, the beginning of his article he wrote about this was, if you listen very carefully, that's the sound of a bubble busting in the Premier League. The Premier League was just spending and spending. The bubble had to burst at some point, and they were spending recklessly. Clubs were spending way beyond their means, declaring losses of 200, 300 million. And I think this January transfer window is a win in the sense that the game will start getting a bit sanitized, a bit more sense. Not everybody just going out and splurging 200 million every transfer window. Like, it's crazy. It's not sustainable. It's just, it's in the here and now we enjoy it. We all love a big transfer. But at the end of the day, your club is sustainable. You can't just keep spending beyond your means every time. In impact with the transfer in the Premier League race, the impact for Liverpool, like Bola rightly said, at the beginning of the season, we were shouting we wanted a defensive midfielder. We wanted maybe a defender also. But luckily, we got a centre back that's 20 years old who has stepped in, who has done a good job. So we didn't need to buy anybody. Right back, we were thinking, okay, maybe we need a right back buy a right back to supplement Trent. And then we found this 20-year-old Conor Bradley who has been on fire. Unfortunately, his father passed away yesterday, so he couldn't play. I think he would have played if that didn't happen. So that just saved us having to go to the transfer market. And like Ray said, that's good for the game. It's good for your clubs to start looking inwards to your academy, bring some players through. Even if they don't make it, like Ray says, you can sell them because that's what this FFP is doing now. The financial fair play is making you appreciate your academy players, and then you can sell them and bank the profit. Because when you sell your academic players, you bank the full profit, and you can put it towards buying new players. So, it's good. I just like it. I feel football has to be sanitized at some point. We know Man City have already they've already rigged the game, so to speak, because they've gotten to the point now where they don't need to really cheat again. They've cheated so much in the past. Now they're at the point where they don't even need to do that anymore because they can sell their academic players. They sold Palmer for 50 million, 60 million. So they've rigged it to the extent where they don't have to actually cheat now. So I also agree with Ray. They are the biggest winners. Man City are the biggest winners now because now it's a level playing field in a way. But Man City are so well set up that all of this doesn't affect them anymore.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I think yeah, that's definitely an advantage City, and it's always been their advantage. So it's up to us to change that. I really wish any other team but City. That's my goal, except for United. I'm sorry. any city, any. I have to preface that. I know there's no chance, but in case there's a chance that that happens, no. Okay.
They're on
So,
fire.
I know. I mean, they're coming up. They're coming up. I was scared. I saw
Yeah,
them
that's it.
today.
6.
I was like,
Yeah.
West Ham. West Ham kills us. They've beaten us twice. We have to play them next week. And I'm telling everyone now, we need to bench Rice. Let me tell you why West Ham keeps beating us. It's because they see Rice and they're so angry. Every time they see us, they see red. And they're like, as long as Rice is on that pitch, we're going to beat you guys. So we need to bench him. Let him relax because we're not supposed to be losing.
How much you pay for him? 100 mil, right?
5. Woo.
They can't complain.
West Ham. But let me say, take this. I don't know who's the elephant. Because I believe Liverpool is now the elephant. I feel like we relinquished our elephant status. So
show yourself. Who are you?
I know, tell us who you are. I still think it's the same person.
Yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
we're going to move on to AFCON, which is why I'm wearing my shirt today. Yeah.
Woohoo.
You guys watch the games, the AFCON semifinal, quarterfinal games. So let's talk about that just for some minutes. We have time. Nigeria progressed. What do you guys think about the game, that match in particular? Let's start with Bola. You watched it.
You're mute.
Sorry about that. I saw the highlights of the game. I couldn't actually see the actual game. But from what I saw, it was a good game. We progressed to the semifinal, but we're not quite there yet. I don't know. Something just seems like we're not firing on full cylinders yet. I'm praying that this continues and we continue to win, but South Africa, in the semifinals, it's going to be interesting, and it's looking like Congo or Cote d'Ivoire in the finals if we make it that far, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. So, I'm hoping Osimhen starts firing.
Has he scored at all? Has he scored at all?
One.
He scored one goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I mean, overall, what we scored. Our best game was probably against Cameroon. Even that game wasn't that great, but it was, it was effective. Yeah. Ola, did you watch this one?
Yeah, I watched it. The team, they've not played spectacular. They're playing, somebody call it, we will call it tournament football. They're playing tournament football. It's not spectacular. They just grind it out, get the goal, shut up shop. I've been impressed. Sorry?
They're not conceding. They're very solid in the back. And
Exactly. Considered only one goal, kept 4 straight clean sheets. Against the Angola match, I feel we probably could have, if we needed another goal, we really could have finished it off. But I think in the second half, we are a bit more conservative, just soaked it up and hit them on the break. I agree with Bola. I'm a bit worried, not because of South Africa. I'm worried that if Sims Cote d'Ivoire's name is on this trophy, it seems because they've come back from the dead so many times. They lost 2 games in the group stages, lost 4-0. I mean, to Ecuador. I don't know how they're in the semifinals. It's like their name is on the trophy. Seriously. So I'm worried about that. I'm worried that even if we make the final and we meet Cote d'Ivoire, we're going to lose it because it seems they are destined to win it. Because I just don't know how they're there. I don't know how, they were playing 10 against 11 and they still won. They're playing 10 against 11 for over an hour and they were 1 goal down and they still won. Ow. Seriously. Yeah, no. So I'm just worried about them. South Africa, I think we probably will handle South Africa because physically we're dominant. The one thing I like about this team, our Nigerian team, they're physical, they work hard, they properly work hard. They're all closing down, they're pressing, all of them. And I think we can physically dominate the South Africans. But if we get to the final against Ivory Coast, we're not physically dominating those guys. Those guys are also big and strong and physical. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But, I mean, we're not playing great, but it's tournament football. You don't have to play great. Just win, progress, that's it.
Yeah, I picked Nigeria to win. Remember that podcast from 2 weeks ago? I wanted them to win. I didn't think we had to be the best team to win this tournament. That was my point. I felt like we just had to be effective, grow into the game throughout as the matches went along, and we could sneak a win. Now, Ivory Coast, I watched that game. I joined in like extra time. So they're already 1-1. I knew they were a man down, and I was watching extra time. And I was like, this is going to penalties, blah, blah, blah. Next thing they scored. Did you guys see the reaction from Mali? Mali players went mad. I'm like, why are you guys that? I get that they're upset, but like, I don't think anything was wrong. The referee shouldn't have called anything off. That was a legitimate goal. In fact, it may have been an own goal. But like, they were beating the ref. Like, I saw them lay hands on the ref. And it was a crazy scene. And that just tells you how much this AFCON, we know it's a great show. It's been a great show all tournament. And I feel like it means a lot to these players. I'm not saying it didn't mean much in the past, but it's just like these people were crying in tears. Like, it almost feels like a World Cup. Like they're really, really invested. I think Ivory Coast will be okay if they lose in the semifinals because they're really not supposed to be here. They can lose in the semifinals and then play the third place match, win that game. Just stay away from the final because Ola is right. There's some spirit following them around. Go to the final. I just want to see Congo in peace. Let's win this game. Ray, what do you have to add?
That's a good point. I think like Ivory Coast is like the biggest glow up. Like this people, like everyone said, they were out. It was, it's like the best third place finishers, and even that was like almost like a last minute goal from Morocco or against Morocco that got them in. So I think I'll talk. So the Nigerian performance, I think, again, what a lot of people have said is it's boring. It's not that exciting. I have noticed we have kind of grown into now. We kind of like understand that's the style we're playing, where we're a bit more sort of physical, hard to break down, and then we can step it up as needed. I think it was still a little clumsy the first in the group stage, but we've kind of grown into our own in that regard. Like you said, we could have stepped it up in Angola if we really needed to. So it's interesting. We're kind of growing to the tournament. But again, to the point that everyone said, South Africa, as long as we don't now underestimate them, just stick to what we're doing and maybe even step it up a little, I see us getting past them. But again, once we get to the final, Ivory Coast, it looks there's something. I don't exactly what everyone said. Knocked out Senegal, and then Mali, and then you know how this goes. It's in their home. There's referees. There's all these things that so if they lose in the semis, cool. But once they get to the finals, you're working against all sorts of spiritualities and principalities that are outside, in addition to the fact that both teams, I think, when we played them, we're tied, I believe, in the group stage, right? Or did we beat them?
Oh, we beat them.
We beat them.
Oh, we beat them.
Yeah, with the penalty.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Ekong's penalty, yeah. But essentially, they can match us from physicality, and then they have all those extra things working for them, like exactly what everyone said. I do like the fact that some of the exciting teams like Cape Verde, Congo, some of the teams that typically you wouldn't call the giants, they've played some really good football. They've knocked out some of those perennial, even like Senegal or the North African teams. They got knocked out. And I heard there was a bit more money in terms of the prize as well for the AFCON this year. So I think this is actually a pretty good tournament. It's been interesting to watch, and I'm just glad Nigeria is still in it to be part of the ending of the tournament. So I hope we get to the final, and obviously I'll prefer Congo. I made a joke like Nigeria and South Africa. It's the Amapiano Derby because we took Amapiano from them, and then we tried to say it's our own, but really, so that's gonna be a fun game though. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. I watched the South Africa Cape Verde game. I thought that was good. South Africa is a solid team though. Like I think most of their players play in the South African league, so they have chemistry with each other. So that's something we have to make sure we're ready for. And apparently Nigeria has reached 16 semifinals in only been 19 tournaments. If we reach 16, and apparently someone should correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't play 2 of these tournaments because of maybe Abacha or something.
Yeah.
So that means we could have easily reached 18. Like, I'm just saying there are 2 that we're not involved in. So that's interesting that we always get to this point and we only have 3 trophies. We need to figure, we need to win this one. I think we need more. So good luck to us. We'll see what happens. All right. And our last topic, we'll make it so good on time. Yay. All right. So this is our new segment, Non-Footy Chat. Tonight is Grammy night. Honestly, not sure who's even nominated, but whatever. But Grammy night means music night, right? So the question is, name one album you can listen to every single day without getting bored. What's wrong with the DJ? What's up? I feel like you.
I'll give you three. Made in Lagos, Mr. Money with a Vibe, and African Giant. Sticky Afrobeat. Let's go.
Okay. I like those. Ola, what about you?
I'm going to stick to syllabus because it's one. If it's one, okay, yeah. But if there are many, yeah, I can name many, but I'm going to stick. Well, originally, I won't say it's for the rest of my life, but I can listen to this album for a long time. Frank Ocean. It's a pity the guy has dropped off the radar. Channel Orange. It was just a unique album in a way. It was not your standard R&B album, and he was experimenting with different things. And so Channel Orange, Frank Ocean, I just don't know what happened to him. I think he released an album after that, but then he has not been back since. But yeah, that's one I can just listen to over and over. It's just different styles. You have the quick. It was, what do they call it? Alternative R&B. It's not. It wasn't really R&B, but it was a mix of hip hop, all of that, all encompassed in just one album. I can't get bored of that album.
I think we meant for a month. I'm sorry if I left that out. I don't think we mean for the rest of your life.
If it's for a month, yeah. For a month, yeah. Because for the rest of my life, no, I don't think I'll be able to have Channel Orange for the rest of my life. Some parts of the album are depressing, so it's not an album I can listen to for the rest of my life. But if it's for a month, yeah, I can handle that. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Ray?
Yeah, Wizkid Made in Lagos, that album, man. I can just listen to it forever. Like, it's amazing album. That's all I can say. I think Wizkid sound mature with that album. So go ahead.
I'm gonna confess I never listened to that album. I know, it's surprising. The thing is this: I don't listen to current music unless something makes me listen to it, and for whatever reason, nothing made me really listen to Made in Lagos, which I may take that as an assignment to do. But I listened to African Giant. No, not African Giant. Love Damini. I listened to that one because he was coming to town. And so I listened to the entire album. And Ashake, I listened to Ashake's album because I was so late. But when I heard Terminator, I was like, oh, I like this song. Let me go listen to the rest. And then all the songs were hits, basically. So I love that album. But my album, again, I don't keep up with music. I like what I like. If the music is good, it'll come to me. That's how I feel. A big Westlife fan. You guys don't know Westlife, boy band from the early 2000s.
Of course, we know them. Well, I know them because I'm busy.
They're all last people.
All last people.
So what I mean from Westlife is the greatest hits album. There wouldn't be a song I don't know word for word. I will listen to it every day for a while. That's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think they're back together. I think they're doing a reunion tour. I think. Yeah.
Guess who has our tickets? I'm going to New York. They're coming for.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're coming for the first time. They're touring in North America. Never come here before,
Nice.
which I'm all these years. But yeah, I'm going to New York. It's going to be St. Patty's Day weekend around then.
Woo. Yeah.
See me out because I'm not going to behave. I was like, I'm going to behave. So yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, guys, I think we have come to the end of the show. Look at us, under 45 minutes. Wow.
You beat my record. I was patting myself on the back last week for 55 minutes. Look at you doing the 45 minutes. Come on, EJ. Come on.
I'm going to be able to beat it. Yeah. So yeah, good game for us. I'm excited we won. I think we needed that way more than you guys. I told Bola earlier. We need to keep momentum up and boost morale and prepare us for the next match. So glad we won. I'm glad you guys joined us, and that's the show.
Thanks, everyone. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Take care.
Bye.